Hi everybody, I'm Christina from Initiative Tabletop. This is a game called Cartoona. It's a creature building game by Robert Burke, and it's published by Game Salute. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes, and it's ages 3.5 to adult, and it's 1 to 8 players. It's a really interesting game where you get to take a bunch of different tiles that are different body parts of creatures, and you build some really interesting creatures. It's a ton of fun, so let's take a look inside the box. So this is the components that you get whenever you buy Cartoona. First off, before I get into this, I wanted to show everybody, look at the adorable artwork that's in this game. It is really creative, really imaginative. It stands out for sure. The rulebook is also a really nice component to the game. There's several different ways you can play this game. There's the full version, where you try to go up to 50 points. There is the basic version where it's whenever you run out of these tiles, which these tiles are used for building the creatures. There's also a solitary version where you're trying to build a bunch of unified colored creatures. So you have a blue creature, a magenta creature, a purple creature, and you try to do that again before the tiles run out. There's team play, and it's a ton of fun. All of these are a lot of fun. There's also the children's version, and you can look at this sheet, for instance. This is the children's version. Basically, whenever you're looking at this, you may tell the child to make an all yellow creature, and they get all kinds of points for, doing this, and you kind of just keep up your own points. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of variety in it. It's a game that can grow with children. You can start them out really young to start playing this game, and then you can get them to the point where they start learning the full game. In the basic game, you use just the tiles. You also use that whenever you're playing with the children. You also use just the tiles for that as well. Whenever you are playing with more adult or maybe children who are getting the hang of the game and they can understand more of the complex rules, you have the cards, and these cards can be used throughout the game, and they can help or hinder other players as they're going through the game. If you're playing the full game, you'll need to use the scoreboard. And the scoreboard goes up to 50 points. So in the full game, whoever gets up to 50 points first wins the game. And so you have all these little tokens that you use to move them around, basically to keep up with your score. Now, how do you score? You're probably wondering that. Well, first off, you need to give everybody one of these. This is actually a screen. This shows every tile that's in the game. And it shows like whether it's a front part, it shows whether it is a head, ears, and it shows these different tiles so that you know what you're kind of looking for whenever you see a tile. You're like, what part is that? Oh, well, that's a tail. That's, whichever part. So you'll give each player this, and then you'll give them 5 tiles. Now, this is for the basic, and whenever you're doing the full version, you'll give them also 2 cards. So, for instance, this tile is ear tiles. Down here at the bottom is a number 1. Whenever the creature is scored, meaning that it has been completed, then that means that you will score this 1 point. If you completed a creature that was all the same color, it's double points. So let's just kind of randomly build a creature here, okay? So whenever you go to build, I started off with the ears. I am now looking for some type of body piece or a head. Here's a head. So I connect the head. Now the rule of the game is that you have to make sure that you connect from the existing piece. So I couldn't have jumped down here and built the body or feet or anything like that. I needed to build in basically sequential order. Ears, head, and as you can see, he kind of has a leftover area here. This would be a beak. So I would do a beak. And so I would just keep building this until I have a complete creature, and then I score it. And that's basically what you need to do to play the game. You're building all these really interesting creatures. I did this one with one color, but they don't have to be one color. They can be all kinds of colors. I mean, you can have this guy, and he can have different color head, for instance. It's really fun. I think it's absolutely great how imaginative you can really get with these creatures. They look really funny after a while. And I think kids absolutely enjoy that fun factor of the game. So that's Cartoona. As you can see, it's a really interesting game. You've built some fascinating creatures when it's all done. It's a game that's even great for children, and it's even great for adults. I actually got the chance to get one of my nieces to play this. She's old enough to kind of understand the rules, and she just enjoyed just building as many creatures as she could. She built all kinds of interesting creatures. I've also gotten the chance to play this with a lot of adult friends and family, and they also thought that it was a great fun time, and they had a blast. We all felt like kids as we were playing the game. So this is definitely a game that I would recommend to anybody, especially people with children, but even adults. You'll have fun. Just check it out. So this is Christina from Initiative Tabletop, signing off. May the dice roll in your favor.